were in the middle of a performance run of one of our shows, Chekhov's The Cherry Orchard. And so we, saw the shelter in place order was going to be coming. And so we quickly videotaped the performance and kind of got it up online, and just shut everything down and, followed the orders that we all were supposed to follow and sheltered in place. And we weren't really sure, I think, at that time, how long this was all going to be. And so in some ways, we thought, well, maybe it is just 3 weeks, maybe it is just 6 weeks. So we tried to figure out, well, could we do sort of the same sort of thing, but maybe just have a concert for our final show, or have it be a staged reading. And then when we really realized that this was going to be a long haul problem that we all were facing together, we really just had to take a massive step back and think about how are we going to survive for the next year and a half without being able to put on any shows, without really doing anything live. And so, we took a hard look at our numbers and we cut our annual budget by over 70%. We furloughed 5 of our 8 staff members, furloughed or laid off 5 of our 8 staff members. And that in particular, I think for any business that's difficult, but particularly for a nonprofit theater organization and a community theater, nobody does community theater to get rich. Nobody goes into it for the money. We do it because we love it. And we do it because we're a family and we love the camaraderie that comes with putting on a show together, and to have to say goodbye or see you later to so many of our staff members was incredibly hard. We are very, very grateful that these programs exist. We are so happy that they are here. We are so happy that, we have been able to secure funding through the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, through the Paycheck Protection Program, and through, we've applied for the Shuttered Venues Operators Grant. And so we are crossing our fingers that will come through. The process was incredibly challenging. There was a lot of documentation and there was a lot that was needed. And, we're, again, at Town Hall, we are incredibly lucky that we have such an amazing board and staff that remained. Our managing director, he's a full-time staffer and we've been able to keep him on board, and he's done, the lion's share of all of our work. We have an amazing volunteer comptroller, our finance director, on the board, and she is on top of it and she keeps meticulous records. And our vice president of the board has his own small business. And so he was able to help us really navigate through all of these programs on his own, because he's had to do it himself. I don't know that if we didn't have those 3 people at Town Hall, I don't know that we would have been able to figure out how to apply. I hesitate to be critical of these programs because it's a big country and you want to make sure there's no fraud. And, so I completely understand that. And in my day job, I've worked on environmental policy for like the last 15 years on my day job. So I know what it's like to have to build policy that works for a country or for an entire state. So I'm sympathetic. And I think everybody was really kind of caught flat-footed on this. And so, I don't want to be too critical because I know that everybody has just been working so hard to make sure that we could get the funding that we needed. But I think from our level, from our point of view, it was also incredibly difficult and hard to access. And I will say on the EIDL, when I wrote to Congressman DeSaulniers' office thanking him, I had written saying, we'd tried to apply for our EIDL in January, and there had been some back and forth on paperwork. And it really, I think, was the communication from Congressman DeSaulniers' office to EIDL, not necessarily to grease any skids or do anything that was unethical, but just to make sure that, we had a member of Congress that was actually calling after our loan for us. And within a week, we got that funding. So I really cannot thank your office enough for the help that you have given us to make sure that we can still be here. Now that we have this funding, I'm really excited and I'm really hopeful for where we go in the future. So rather than having to try to, build a theater company from the ground up, and not know where our next dollar is going to come from. We can actually invest. And so what we're investing in first and foremost is people. And so this means that I can bring back former staff or hire new staff, to be able to put on shows, to be able to offer more theater classes, to be able to rent our facility out to bands or other theater companies who want to use it. So I am so incredibly excited to be able to have a full staff of people to make sure that our theater can actually run again and be this mainstay in the community that it has been since 1944.